Good morning, everybody. Hope you got your big old cups of coffee. That way we can get in and talk about 10 of the trending crypto articles today. As always, everything we're talking about is down in the description below if you want to check out the articles. So without further ado, let's hop on in. TikTok and Dogecoin. I'm sure you guys have probably seen something about this floating around. It triggered a 100% rally. What? And now Justin's son wants in. I don't think he's being serious, but let's dig into things. So, Dogecoin has jumped from less than a quarter of a penny all the way up to over half of a penny. As of July 7th, I think it's trending around right around a half penny still, but on the lower end of the spectrum. This isn't about Dogecoin's price performance. It's about the Dogecoin TikTok challenge. The premise of this challenge is to get everyone on TikTok to buy some Doge, thus increasing the price of the cryptocurrency by hundreds, maybe thousands of percent. The hashtag for this challenge has hundreds of thousands of views. It has spurred YouTuber Jake Paul, Bloomberg, Barstool Sports, Dave Portnoy, Keemstar, Gizmodo, and many other entities with large audiences to talk about Dogecoin as well. If it's trending, we got to talk about it. Hence why I'm talking about it here. You really can't get away from it. It's a level of popularity this coin has not seen since 2017, 2018. So Justin's son actually tweeted out on about a day ago, starting today, we will focus more on TikTok contest. Stay tuned for hashtag Tron videos going viral. Hashtag TRX at TikTok_US. So yeah, he says he's going to try to get Tron in on the game. Tron's seen an influx of popularity, and it could with the right TikTok trends and the right campaigns, but the effects of the social media platform on Dogecoin may be a one-time thing. I think it might be a one-time thing personally. It's just insane to me that it happened at all. Dogecoin is a large circulating supply, so some would say it's hard to pump, but a good chunk of Doge is dormant or lost, and ask orders on most exchanges are kind of thin, so the actual liquid market cap is significantly lower for the coin, according to some. Doge has a culture that invites these weird challenges, and TikTok has a very odd culture. I don't understand it, but I guess I'm just getting old. So yeah, had to talk about it. Oh my goodness. All I can say is best of luck Dogecoin, best of luck Justin's son. Let's move on to something a little bit more serious. All right, so Binance just listed the Synthetix token. It's actually up over 230% in a month. Nice. All I can say about that. If you are living under a rock, Synthetix allows users to bet on cryptocurrency, stocks, currencies, precious metals, and other assets in the form of ERC20 tokens. The system uses two types, the main Synthetix Network Token, SNX, and synthetic assets called synths. Someone likes Fallout 4. Currently, Synthetix is one of the largest DeFi protocols on Ethereum. It's got a total USD value locked in to about $395 million, according to DeFi Pulse. As we all know, DeFi is booming, mostly on Ethereum. I think Ethereum had $10 billion worth of DeFi transactions last quarter. Might be misquoting that, so don't dig into me too much. But Synthetix, since June 9th, it went from 90 cents to about $3.10 at the time that they wrote this article. So, got to keep an eye on it. Got to keep an eye on all these DeFi products. And I'll be honest, I keep going back and forth. Should I invest? Should I not? Is this a fad? Is this going to grow? As always, cryptocurrencies are speculative assets. Do your own research. Don't trust me. But now that it's on Binance, that makes it that much easier for me to buy in. Compound, you can buy fractions of a coin on Coinbase, but 100 and some bucks is quite a bit. Similar token that does similar things for $3.10. It's a little more feasible for some people, so it's definitely a coin to watch. Definitely something to keep an eye on. So yeah, let's jump over and talk about Kyber. So they're jumping into the DeFi game, and they got 18 million on day one of Ethereum staking rewards. So they launched their long-awaited Katalyst upgrade alongside its new KyberDAO. And less than 24 hours later, millions had already been staked. It's pretty insane how much had been staked, quite honestly. So Katalyst, it's bringing about more affordable token swaps and customizable fees for their liquidity partners. So it's the moment all you Kyber fans and yield farmers have been waiting for. So it's got the fully on-chain liquidity. It launched the first stage of this Katalyst upgrade alongside KyberDAO on Tuesday, which enabled token staking and governance voting that generate Ethereum rewards, not Kyber rewards, Ethereum rewards, which is pretty interesting. It's definitely a different play on things, and it could actually lead to increased prices for Kyber because people will buy it up as a cheap way to get themselves some Ethereum. So yeah, pretty interesting. So staking on KyberDAO allows, KNC holders to vote directly or delegate their votes to reputable members of the community, making decisions about protocol level changes, like the amount of network fees that will be distributed as staking rewards or saved to facilitate more efficient price discovery for assets on the network. Currently, 65% of network fees are set to be distributed to those who have staked tokens. Kyber network token prices, it's increased about 800% this year. It's, I believe it's all-time high, $1.84 on the 3rd. It's dropped off a little bit, but nothing too crazy. But unlike, Compound and Balancer, Kyber Network did not see a sharp spike in value following the release of the Katalyst upgrade. And while that might be cause for some concern, this upgrade, they've been talking about it for months. I know we've talked about it on this channel like 3 or 4 times at the very least. But it does bring about a number of changes to things, and it's going to be pretty interesting. So, Katalyst upgrade. It's affecting a lot in the nuts and bolts of the Kyber network protocol, lower fees for users, ability to set custom swap fees for liquidity providers, and Kyber's in the process of preparing the Kyber Improvement Proposal Framework for KNC users to submit, review, and discuss proposals, similar to Compound's executive vote system. Pretty interesting. So they're getting ready. All these proposals become available starting with Epoch 1, which is scheduled to begin July 14th. Amazing times we live in. Allocated network fees generated during Epoch 0 will be used to burn KNC tokens to reduce the overall supply and hopefully drive price growth. So Kyber is definitely another one to watch. Oh man, there's just so many coins that are doing some interesting and exciting things right now that honestly I don't know which ones to watch and which ones to invest in. So if any suggestions, just let me know. But hey, let's jump over. Cardano Foundation put out this warning, and I felt like it's something that should definitely be mentioned here. They're warning that a suspicious firm is trying to rake in investments by claiming contact with the foundation. The Cardano Foundation, which is the organization behind Cardano, came out and stated that someone claiming to be from or contracted by the Caribbean crypto exchange BTC Next professes to personally know the Cardano core members as a way to reassure them that investments will be safe. It's unclear whether the claimants are actually connected to BTC Next in any way. They didn't answer Cointelegraph's request for comment on this one. So neither Cardano Foundation nor any of its ecosystem partners are in any way associated with BTC Next. They are not our partners of any sort. So they put out this official warning to make sure people beware of any suspicious claims and conduct through due diligence. They also urge individuals to refrain from sending data to third parties that claim partnership with its team. And they said, we will never ask you to send your funds to us. This is something to watch because obviously the irreversible nature of crypto transactions make them a popular choice for scammers. Because in a traditional system, a fraudster would have to take extra care to avoid transaction reversals or bank account bans. So definitely keep an eye on things. Never send your money to any address that promises you more. I really don't know what else I can say about that. Just keep an eye out on things. We're going to start seeing a lot more of these, particularly on the DeFi networks and these altcoins that are experiencing big booms. During a bull run or any big rush like I think we're getting into right now, it gets nuts. It gets crazy. And that is when the scammers strike, because they hit you when you're confused, when you're turned around, when you're busy, and that's how they get you. So keep an eye out on things and be careful, everybody. All right, let's hop over here and talk about Brave and BitFlyer. So they're partnering with Brave to develop a new crypto wallet. Yeah, and they're trying to explore the growing Japanese market with. It's kind of interesting. So let's get into things. BitFlyer is the biggest crypto exchange in Japan in terms of trading volume. They announced the partnership. They're going to be developing a crypto asset wallet for Brave browser users. Hope they get a US version of it. I'm just saying. No further details have been made available. But currently, Japanese users of the Brave browser are rewarded with basic attention token points due to regulations that prevent them from earning the cryptocurrency BAT or trading their points for money on exchanges. So I found that very interesting. I'm not exactly sure what they do with those points. I'm assuming it's like Reddit karma. They're just there. So the announcement is likely to fuel speculation that the new crypto wallet could pave the way for Japanese users to earn BAT instead of BAP, or somehow convert between the two, which would be nice for them. I think personally they should be allowed to, but regulations being what they are, Japan's a weird one, as we all know. So Brave is becoming increasingly popular in Japan. Last month, Brave partnered with BTS, it's a Korean pop group. Don't get me started. And Rush Gaming, a Japanese esports team, to develop browsers exclusively for users in Japan. In the case of Rush, users of the limited edition browser can earn BAP by watching ads. The BAP can be used to support Rush Gaming's esports team. Pretty interesting. Recently, several Japanese crypto exchanges, including BitFlyer, announced the trading of BAT. So BAT's definitely, they're doing some things. Partnership with all this stuff. Brave partnering up with BitFlyer is pretty cool. I do own some BAT, not trying to shill it in any way, shape, or form. It's a decent project. It's an okay idea. It doesn't excite me, but it doesn't bore me. And this partnership is good. I think Brave could really use a native wallet integrated with it. Just having BAT is nice, but having options for a bit more would be pretty cool. So just like that, we are halfway there. All right. All right, let's hop over and talk about the new Bitcoin Rush Mining Edition. So fresh investments into mining equipment by smaller companies are signaling a pretty optimistic outlook for the future of Bitcoin. So yeah, I don't know if you know this, but there's a United States-based blockchain firm called Core Scientific. They bought over 17,000 the latest Bitcoin mining ASIC machines from the Chinese hardware producer Bitmain. The news made waves in the industry as the largest known order of Antminer S19s by a single operator. I believe those Antminers are going for like $1,800 a pop. Granted, when you're buying 17,000 of them at a time, you get a bit of a bulk discount, but you know what I mean. So after the halving, which we're in, investments into cryptocurrency mining equipment by smaller industry participants suggest there's growing confidence in the sector, because even though the rewards have deducted in half, they are still operating and expanding. They seem to be playing a long game, which is good for the industry. They've got a good idea about it. So they spoke to Jason Dean, who's an analyst, and here's what he said about it. So mining is a business that is absolute in the key numbers, so it's simply a question of assessing profitability on an ongoing basis. While difficulty and hash rate are variable and closely related, we can assume that both will increase over time. If the Bitcoin price rises significantly, we can also be quite confident that they will rise much faster. It all comes down to cost and protecting position. If you can secure power that ensures your break even is very low, say 6,000 or less per Bitcoin, then you have good insurance against whatever comes next. Yeah, makes sense. Obviously, these guys are in to make money. When they produce these Bitcoins, they will probably save some because they want it to go up in the future, but they'll definitely be selling the bulk of what they make to pay for the operating costs and to buy 17,000 new machines. Things like that. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. they're working on all these things. Dean's not surprised by the value of the investments into this newest hardware, even after the halving, and he suggested that some miners could operate profitably up until the next halving, which is due to take place in 2024. People are pretty bullish. People are pretty optimistic. People are thinking about good things. The Grayscale Trust is buying over the past month or two, has bought up 3 times the amount of Bitcoin that's been mined. We know now that there's a lot of large players that are getting into the game a lot earlier than we thought. Everything seems to be lining up for an actual bull frickin' run, and it is about time. Dear Lord. So, Simon Peters, a market analyst for eToro, gave some insight into the recent surge of investments. Peters believes the current situation of the market further incentivizes the operators to become efficient and plan ahead. He said, I doth quote, there is even greater evidence for miners to become more efficient. Miners must find ways to decrease overheads and stay profitable, even if it means investing greater capital at this moment to become more efficient in the future. So basically everything this article is building up the idea that people are dumping money into Bitcoin mining right now because they believe in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, their profits will be insane, as I know we are all hoping for ourselves. So this is good. It just further builds this argument that we're headed somewhere. I don't know how big of a run it's going to be. I don't know how crazy it's going to be. I don't even know when it's going to happen, but something is a-brewing. I want to say coronavirus can't keep the market down as most of the world starts to shrug it off while my home country dives further into the depths. We'll see where things go. So, got to talk about Ripple. Some former Goldman Sachs guy predicts a 1,500% XRP rally. He is pretty open about the fact that he's a Bitcoin and cryptocurrency beginner. His name's Will Mead. He was a former employee of the financial giant Goldman Sachs. If you're in the United States, you've probably heard of them before. They were one of the few firms to really make it out of the 2008 collapse. So he says, I made my first crypto purchase this week. XRP Ripple. I know very little about crypto, but I believe a rising tide lifts all boats. So if Bitcoin goes back to its all-time highs, then XRP should as well, and that's a 15-bagger, 1,500%. Okay, I don't think he's American by birth because I do not recognize that, but well, I know. So they're going back and forth with this on performance of different cryptocurrencies. One of XRP's biggest critics, Peter Brandt, he made a bullish prediction for the cryptocurrency in a tweet. He predicted a Bitcoin and Ethereum rally with a 0.032 target for the first cryptocurrency. In his prediction, a user asked ironically what the fate of XRP would be, and he simply answered, higher. Well, yeah, that's pretty good. And he actually advised all his followers and investors to put at least 10% of their savings into Bitcoin. He thinks investors shouldn't have faith in XRP and was critical of Ripple's scheduled token sales. A report by Weiss Crypto states that Bitcoin and Ethereum are both showing gains of more than 150% from the annual lows. Contrast, XRP is down about 20%. Yeah, XRP, I like it. I think it's going to do good things. I have a hard time getting excited by it, and I don't have any money in it, quite honestly. You guys, if you're listening and you've been around for a couple weeks now, you know what my favorite cryptos are. XRP really isn't one of them. I don't hate it. I wish it well, but I'm not thinking it's going to moon to $10 like a lot of people did back in the day. Still, it'll be interesting to see if it proves me wrong. I'm perfectly fine with that. But let's hop over and talk about Avanti. So, it's a crypto bank. It's actually the first U.S.-based crypto bank. They appointed their first advisors, this Christopher Allen guy, who's an internet cryptography pioneer, a former Fed official Katie Cox, and a blockchain architect Bob McAlrath. So they've applied for a banking charter, and they want to serve as a regulated bridge between digital assets and traditional finance. And guess what? They will be based out of the beautiful state of Wyoming, which is quickly becoming one of the most crypto-friendly states, probably the most crypto-friendly state in the U.S. current at the moment. I do not like their logo, the Avanti Financial Group. It is brown and gold. It kind of looks like UPS. I mean, not exactly, because different wording, slightly different design, but just not a fan. So, they expect to open for business in early 2021, and they've submitted its application for a bank charter on Wyoming Special Purpose Depository Institution Law, according to the announcements. So, they definitely have some pretty lofty aims. They want to fully comply with all their applicable laws and regulations and all that fun stuff. So Alan, our pioneer in internet cryptography, he actually co-authored the TLS security standard, which is the cryptographic protocol that secures most of today's internet traffic. So he's not one to scoff at. Katie Cox has like 30 years of banking regulatory experience, blah, 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 which is pretty interesting. And McElrath, until recently, was the lead blockchain architect at Fidelity Digital Assets. So they got some oomph behind them. They unveiled it earlier this year, and they aim to provide payment, custody, securities, and commodities activities for an institutional client base. They just went through a $5 million angel round led by the University of Wyoming Foundation, investment from venture capitalists, including Morgan Creek Digital and Blockchain Capital. So they're building their infrastructure, they're getting ready, and they want to establish Wyoming as the preeminent crypto-friendly space. So this Avanti group, it's first I'm really hearing about it. I know there's been mumblings around things before, but I never really got a name for it. This will definitely be something for all of us to watch, because if they can successfully do this and kind of bridge that gap between, the traditional sector and Bitcoin, so we can start, buying Bitcoin from them, I'd open up an account with them. I'd put some money in them. I'm tired of Chase Bank not allowing my transactions through. I'm tired of other banks balking, not just Chase, but other banks in general is balking. And it's very refreshing, and I'm very hopeful for this company. I just wish they'd change their darn logo. But whatever. I'll move on, because we got to talk about Texas. Oh, good Lord, Texas. So Texas regulators have successfully shut down the operations of an illegal cryptocurrency investment scheme or a multi-level marketing scheme. So they've shut down the activities of a South African multi-level marketing scheme involving cryptocurrency investments in the state. So Securities Commissioner Travis J. Iles said the company has duped investors into sending them Bitcoin, which would be supposedly transferred to an unidentified Forex brokers for automated trading using AI. The Mirror Trading International Party Limited recruited unregistered salespersons to lure investors to invest money on a return of 10% a month. Ew, that's a lot. These salespeople were supposed to promote the scheme and onboard new investors and multi-level marketers to earn their commissions. Apart from just a quick get rich scheme in anything, its operator was accused, Cornelius Johann Steinberg, of misrepresenting or concealing important information regarding the background of the owner, the Forex broker, or the handling of its cryptocurrencies, and the artificial intelligence used for trading. Also, they lied about how many people they had enrolled and all their accomplishments. So, yeah, Iles named Forex and Bitcoin.com, Michael Coulson, Steve Hersig, and Brian Knott as 4 multi-level marketers involved in the scheme. He said that their actions were illegal according to laws that require the registration of securities and their sellers. All these type of things. So, it doesn't sound like they shut down the scheme. They just identified it, and they're locking down the big players in the state of Texas. These multi-level schemes and all this stuff are going to be challenging for exactly those reasons. They're based in South Africa. Texas does not have jurisdiction in South Africa last time I checked. So it's really hard to stamp things out at the source unless they are in the country that you are trying to stop them in. It's rough. We're probably going to see an increase in treaties between countries to help handle this, because quite honestly, it's really inconvenient for all of us and them, and it allows a lot of people to lose a lot of money. So things like Interpol and things like that, I could see start taking a bigger role in the future, specifically to counteract frauds and schemes like this, especially if cryptocurrency grows into a multi-trillion-dollar market cap, which, don't worry, it will. So yeah, let's round things out today. Talk about Bitcoin and the altcoin season, which according to Nicholas Merton is on us. He is actually really bullish on iExec, RLC, Chainlink, Cosmos, and Ren. He thinks Cardano is heading for a pullback after sustaining this huge rally. I agree with him. Cardano was amazing. I love it. I'm super excited about its future, but it made it to like almost 14 cents after being at like 8 cents for a few weeks. It's definitely going to get some pullback. I think it's around 12 cents right now. That's fine. It needs to rest, consolidate, pull back a little bit, so that way it can leg up in a few days. But, he's saying, Merton believes in the short term we need to start seeing some of the large caps move, like Ethereum, Litecoin, some of the larger, more established currencies to really solidify this breakout. But the data he's looking at is that there's a breakout and momentum is building up. We've been talking about it for the last few weeks, and for it to continue climbing, we're going to need Ethereum, Litecoin, and the more established cryptocurrencies to start moving as well. But he's incredibly bullish on the market as a whole. So just a little feel-good moment for you to round out the day. So that will do it for the top 10 trending articles in the crypto space. If you're still here, please subscribe. Check down in the description for any articles you want to read yourself or do a bit more of your own research on. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Market-wise, it is pretty quiet today. XRP is up almost 5%, so good for them. Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, pretty meh. Bitcoin and Ethereum both up by less than 1%. Cardano's still kicking around at number 7, down 3.36%, about 12.2 cents. Like I said, nothing to worry about. Litecoin's up by 1%, Binance down, Crypto.com coin up. EOS and Chainlink still kicking around there. Tron, 1.8 cents. Good for them, up 5%. Stellar's Moonin up 19%. Pretty nuts. I'm trying to see anything else. Dogecoin still kicking up around 20%. Good for them. 4.5 cents. Compound is pretty flat. I'll be interested to see what that does. But that'll do it for today. I will see y'all tomorrow for another episode. Stay safe out there and enjoy the day.